Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and as you can see behind me, I've got the redstone contraption that we made last video. Now, in case any of you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'll just quickly give you a quick recap. So you walk up these stairs, and you find a lever, and you flick it, then a diamond block pops up. You flick it again, and it goes back down, and covers up the floor behind it. Pretty cool contraption, but the only problem is, I didn't explain it very well. And so I thought in today's video, I would try explaining it a bit better. First with the double piston extender, and then with the part that actually covers up the floor. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. So, first of all, what happens is you flick this lever, you can see that it turns on this redstone, and then it turns on this repeater down here. And the reason why this is delayed is we can actually learn that from the horizontal double piston extender. Okay, so the way that it will work is it's going to turn on this piece of redstone, and then it's going to activate this repeater, which will activate the piston, which will then push this piston to where the redstone dust is powering. So if we just hit that, you can see that is exactly how it works. But the reason why we don't want this to be a repeater is because we need this to turn off as soon as possible so that this piston can retract it, because after you turn off the piston, it takes 2 ticks to become retractable again. So if you just turn it off, you can see that what we thought would happen, it retracts the piston, but also it did another extension. So if you put a block there, you can see that it actually manages to retract it. And the reason for that is because this repeater is delayed by 2 ticks again, giving this piston time to retract the piston, and then it turns on one last time to retract this block when it's here. But if we're to try doing that vertically, then I'll show you guys what happens. Okay, so here I basically got the same thing vertically. It's kind of hard to do it vertically since you can't just place a repeater on top of it. So I just put that one on the other side so that it kind of like goes in a bit of a circle. Like, it's just easier to see. And so if we flick this lever, then you can see it only activates this top piston. That's because what's happening is straight away this bit of redstone is powering the block below it, which then activates this piston before this piston has a chance to extend. And so you might think, oh, we can just have it powering a block instead. But that means that if we want to keep it as small as it is, we'll need a repeater, which means making all of these redstone pulses a bit longer. But if we were to then try that, you can see that it does do the double extension, but when you're retracting it, it doesn't work. And the reason for that is because Minecraft does this really annoying thing. Okay, so here I just got a little redstone contraption with 2 pistons and a piece of redstone running into the top one. But then there's also a block below it that's being powered by the redstone. So which one do you think is going to get powered first? Time's up. Okay, and so if we hit this lever, it's the bottom one that gets powered. So the block being powered by the redstone is for some reason quicker than the redstone actually powering a piston. And it's not just this bit of redstone powering this block, because not only is that impossible because it would have to power through a block, which it can't do. If we move this bit, you can see that it doesn't work. There's also another thing. So if I was to just quickly want some redstone like this, it actually powers the piston. And so if I hopefully get this in slow-mo, you can see that that piston stays on as long as the repeater there stays on. And so we need to find a way to let the bottom piston retract, but then have the repeater turn back on, which is why we need this little bit right here. And so when we flick this lever, you can see that it turns off that redstone torch, but the piston still stays on, and that's because obviously this block's being powered. But then we turn off and it turns off for 1 tick. You can see it better if I put the lever here instead. So you can see that piston turns off for a second and then pushes the block back for just long enough for the redstone to power the block. And so then it re-extends this piston, and then it pulls the diamond block back. And so I think that's pretty much it for the double piston extender. So now for the bit that covers up the floor, it's almost exactly the same, except we need both of these to be repeaters. And although you can, like I said in the last video, the only bit that I actually did explain, I would end up getting into loops. So this block would be powering this piston, which would be powering that repeater again. And so we need at least one of these to be a repeater, but it's nicer to have them just both be repeaters, just so that we can be 100% sure that it won't get into a loop. Whereas for this bit, it's simple. The block gets powered, it turns off the redstone torch, this piston retracts, and then it extends the diamond block up. And then we got the repeater delaying it turning off for 4 ticks, which is just enough time for the diamond block to get down, and then the iron block extends. And of course down here we need all of the repeaters to be delayed by 1 tick because of this repeater here. So yeah, that's pretty much the explanation video. So I hope that you did enjoy that video. If you did, please remember to drop a like on the video. If you want to see more stuff like this, please remember to subscribe. And thank you to this person for actually making a suggestion for an explanation video, because watched the video back and yeah, it was a terrible explanation. But yeah, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.